victories, including 34 knockouts with 5 defeats. Damas y caballeros de la zona norte, Tijuana, Mexico, the 3-time champion of the world, Erik El Terrible Morales. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue, official weight, 133 3/4 pounds. As a professional, 32 victories, including 17 knockouts. Only 1 defeat with 1 bout even. From Chicago, Illinois, the reigning, defending WBC lightweight champion of the world, dangerous, David Diaz.
Ok, David, puede repetir mis instrucciones, proteger durante la pelea todo el tiempo, protect yourself at all time, una pelea limpia, give me a clean fight, buena suerte, que gane el mejor, good luck, may the best man win, touch him up.
Morales looks like he hasn't popped a sweat, well, a little bit, I should say. Diaz looks a little cold, maybe. First question for both you guys: when you can't afford respect to turn to awe, right? Diaz is fighting a legend. How do you put that behind you right away?
I don't think Diaz is the type to be very awed by anybody, quite honestly, Nick. I think he's a tough kid, and I don't think he's worried about Morales except that he wants to beat him.
What do you think, Gennaro?
I think the same way as you, Wally. I think he should go in there and force the issue, make Morales fight a fight that he doesn't want to.
And he's trying to do it now. He wants to get inside. It's apparent. He's the southpaw. He's got to make him fight 3 minutes every round. Morales would like to keep this fight at arm's length, wouldn't he?
Absolutely, but let's not forget this, Nick. You know, David Diaz toiled for 10 years, pretty much in obscurity in boxing. A lot of it was of his own making, and he told me yesterday, you know, he did a lot of the wrong things. Now he's a world champion. I don't think he's coming in here to freeze up. He wants to be what Erik Morales has already been.
Oh, of course he does, but it may perhaps be a little understandable. So much at stake, fighting at home. It would only be natural that he might be less than completely loose here early, but he's certainly proving me wrong. He's banging away, being aggressive the way he's got to be. Smart aggression, too.
And I think he's doing the right thing. Work the body of Morales, because you know what? Morales has actually been hurt to the body by several fighters that I've seen.
Yeah, very elusive aggression here by Diaz. Smart. Not just walking straight in. He wants to get in his chest and take away any punching room. And as Wally and Gennaro both mentioned, force him to fight every second.
You know something that we overheard, Wally and I, was that he actually had trouble. He was like 7 pounds over Morales was on Tuesday, so obviously he had to go and lose all that weight.
Yeah,
not a good thing.
It's something to watch. I mean, you know, in terms of stamina, and you know, how far can Erik Morales really go here at top speed? I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, and you know, David is doing an excellent job working up the body and working upstairs as well.
Well, Morales finally fighting back. He hadn't done much in the first couple of minutes of this fight. You know, he's the kind of guy, when he'd get into these wars, he got hit with a sweepy right hand. Morales looks like he's got to hang on right now. But Morales kind of guy that would jump on you quick with a counter when he got stung. He hasn't done that so far.
You know, he's actually fighting a southpaw, a little shorter than him, so he's making... Whoa! He got hit with a
rocked by a left, and here comes Diaz.
Right. Oh, no, whoa! What a shot by Morales!
Counter by Morales. Imagine that.
And you look at David Diaz, he's got a whip.
This,
wow.
This is really one of the most more fascinating first rounds we've seen in boxing. And Wally, how do you score the round?
10-9, Morales.
Is that amazing?
Not hurt at all, right? Listen to me. Like we said, when he's hurt, he bounces back with a good right? So when you're trying to finish him off, you got to keep it tight and keep your gloves at your chin, all right? Now just pace yourself there. Go ahead.
Agárralo, préndelo también abajo, combina no nada más te golosines arriba, ¿ok?
You gotta hit him downstairs too, okay?
Su objetivo es abajo.
You gotta go down,
abajo,
okay?
míralo.
Just gotta measure him and go down to the body.
All right, Diaz first, and then Morales. I mean, this is the kind of stuff Erik Morales has done throughout his career. When you're ready to say, that's it for him, he comes right back. You'll see David Diaz run into the knockdown punch. Trust me, you will.
There it is.
Boom. But it's exactly what we were saying, the fact that that's the Morales you knew. When he would get flurried, when he would get hit, he would come back and jump. And that's what Diaz has to be careful.
And in the corner of Diaz, they actually made a very good point that when Morales gets hit and he gets hurt, he comes right away with a straight right.
Exactly what I said.
Right. Very good.
And that's what he did. Jim Strickland warning him that Diaz has to keep punching, even punching on the way out.
You know, and that might be a sign that Diaz is a little bit overly excited about fighting in his hometown.
Excited, right.
He knew what was going to happen, but he got so excited by what he had done that he ran in there trying to finish the fight off.
Wally, you're right. Big distinction. Excited. Not odd. Not that he wasn't loose. He was just wound a little tight.
Trying very hard to impress the hometown crowd. Perfectly understandable.
That's a slip. Benji slip as the referee picked it up. He tripped. And they both acknowledge it as such.
You know, and southpaws and right-hand fighters are always going to have a contradiction of footing of who wants to be inside and what wants to be the outside.
Terrific fight so far.
It's kind of like when you eat next to a lefty. Right?
Yeah,
You always hit your elbows.
Right.
Oh, Diaz shortening up nicely now.
But he needs to pick up his hands. He's dropping those hands, and Morales is very dangerous when he's in close. That's how he got dropped. So Diaz has to learn that he needs to pick up those hands. Right there.
Wow. Here comes Morales, popping back as he's content to slug with the champion.
Well, Diaz, you know, does not have the reputation of being a great puncher, even though he landed a great punch to beat Santa Cruz.
Right. But Diaz right now abandoning his jab. He's going in with big shots. Nice body work. He's a committed body puncher. You know, I did his only loss, and he got dropped early and a little unglued in that fight against Kendall Holmes.
Okay. And he said he learned a lot from Kendall Holmes. He said he had learned how to be patient.
Yes, he did.
But right now, he's not showing patience.
He's all over Erik Morales. Benji Estevez breaks them. Spirited second round again. Non-stop action. Morales dangerous, as you guys talked about. He could counter the aggression beautifully.
He has been connecting a pretty good right uppercut. That's something that David Diaz has to be careful with. I think Diaz needs to throw that straight left to the stomach and not straight to the head. Because he has that opening right there in the middle. Down the middle to the stomach.
But should Diaz stay inside once he's there?
I think he should land his punches and sidestep. Don't stay in front of Morales because he's dangerous.
Right.
You got to sidestep away from him.
And just got to outwork him here as we close out a beautiful second round.
Gotta hit him. Gotta hit him. Go to the body. Don't wait so long. Don't let him push you either. Okay? You have to keep on throwing.
You come straight to him, man.
Just go with the flow, okay?
You got to slip aside and use feints when he reacts to any kind of feint. So feint, mouthpiece,
When you're close, try to push him back. Push him back.
It's going to pay off. But you got to slip
been to hell and back. Erik Morales. Diaz in the fight of his life.
You know what?
The defining fight of his life.
You know what? I actually think that he's tired. He was breathing kind of heavy right
Morales?
there. Morales was, yeah. But you know what? He came out right now connecting some pretty good shots.
He came out flurrying with Diaz, and he catches Diaz on the way in. Diaz not punching his way in. Forgetting about that jab. Jim Strickland told me he wanted Diaz to come in behind that jab and come out behind that jab.
And that is something that's very dangerous here. Morales out, you know, being pushed into the ropes, almost hit the lens of that camera right now.
Ropes are a little loose, don't they?
I think they're very loose. Yep. They have been all night. You know, I, for one, am pleasantly surprised by what Morales has brought to the ring so far tonight. But if I were Diaz, I might back off a little bit, regroup, and try to take Morales into the later rounds, because I agree with you. I think he did look a little bit tired between rounds.
I think so. Here, Diaz trying to impose his strength on Morales. Again, he's fought his career at 135 and 140. So naturally, he would be the bigger man. As an Olympian, he fought at 139.
I think he's doing good right there, but he has to be careful with that uppercut. That right uppercut is the one that's doing the damage for Morales.
I mean, Morales is very dangerous at this point in the fight.
Morales picking those shots off with his gloves. There's the right hand in close for Morales, but he's trying to create a little distance. Morales backed up right now. Diaz flurries on him. Here comes Diaz forward, popping that lead left hand twice.
When you look at Morales, I don't see really much upper body movement, no sidestepping like he normally used to do.
Now, he's certainly not that. He's not that Erik Morales anymore, but he's still got the punching power.
And Wally, you're talking about dragging Morales in a little late. You know, the legs could be an issue for this guy. He has been in some battles.
And also, you know, the strain of making the weight is not going to show up early.
Oh, he got caught. He got caught.
Right down the middle comes Morales. And back comes Diaz.
But Diaz doesn't need to get so hyped up. He needs to take his time. He got hit, okay, he got hit. But you know what? Let's be patient and let's work the body a little bit. Because you know what? We've seen Morales actually go into the later rounds and complain about leg cramps. And that has a lot to do with the weight loss, you know, that he's actually been through.
Exactly. I think that Diaz is losing his cool a little bit here.
Big combination from Morales. Morales able to measure Diaz backing up, trying to create that space. Diaz in black is propelling himself forward, closing distance, head on Morales' chest.
And you know, we got to give it to Morales. Morales is in there doing that.
Absolutely.
He's connected some pretty good shots as well. Like right
This
now.
is sensational through three.
Morales vs. Diaz is being distributed by HBO Pay-Per-View. The best in pay-per-view entertainment is being brought to you by HBO.
Hay que pegarle abajo, baja la velocidad, hay que igualar también fuerzas. Tírale abajo, combíname arriba y abajo, no nada más los tecnologías arriba. Párate, perfílate bien para que saques buenos derechazos. Acuérdate que tus golpes más sólidos son con tus buen perfil.
Don't touch wide.
Entonces perfílate bien y agarra y tírale un buen derechazo, tanto arriba como abajo.
All right?
No tires cuando estás caminando.
Now we'll take a look at some round three action. And you know what? So far, Erik Morales looks rejuvenated in this fight. You know, we've talked about the problems he's had making the weight, but he's had the sharper punches, the crisper punches, and he's had the only punch that actually hurt his opponent.
So I'm glad you're scoring, Wally. How do you have it?
I got a 3-zip from Morales, and I am shocked to say that.
It really is something, but this could go 12 long, heated, thrilling rounds if they're anything like the first quarter of this fight. The clinches aren't necessary. Diaz, the champion's been dropped dramatically at the end of the first round, a round he was winning as he was driving Morales back. But Morales showing all the kind of composure that comes with being in epic wars.
No, I'm not actually shocked that Morales is winning 3-0. You know, he has the experience. He's very relaxed. He got hurt. He got stung in the first round, but you know what? He came back. In punches in the third round, you look at Diaz landing only 9 out of 56 shots, and Morales 14 out of 53. So obviously, he's been pretty busy himself. Now, can he keep up that pace? That's something we need to know.
I think that's the big question in this fight is how far can Morales push his body in this one?
And also, Janaria struck on something. Morales, it's Diaz walking into a shot. Morales seems relaxed, you said it. Diaz, again, fighting at home and fighting a legend. I say again, did he look tight at all? Or tighter than Morales? Not as relaxed.
I just think that he's been a little precautious. I don't think that he's very tight. He's trying to do his best, but he sees himself getting caught with some punches by Morales. Yeah. So obviously that's holding him back, I think.
I don't think he started tight, but I think he's been a different fighter since the knockdown.
He's doing a lot of good things. I think you would agree.
You know, I think older fight fans will know what I'm talking about, and I include you in this, Nick, I must say. But David Diaz reminds me stylistically a little bit of Oscar Bonavena.
Oh, good point. Yes. He goes for it with every punch, doesn't he?
Yep. And, you know, he's kind of a brawler, but not quite as powerful as he appears to be.
Yes.
And right there, he went back and took some shots. But obviously, there were punches blocked by David Diaz's defense. And he smiled at Erik, like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Talk about what Morales is doing so well here.
Morales is cool, actually showing David Diaz that, you know what, I may be supposedly considered.
Right hand from Morales. Diaz has to restart. That stunned him.
And he's actually working real good with the jab, straight right to the body, and a good right uppercut. So Morales is actually doing a very good job here in this fight.
You know what? He stayed absolutely calm, which you would expect of a man of his experience. Plus, his punches, I think, have been just faster and straighter than Diaz.
Right, and you know what? He is a thrill to watch. We said it at the top of the hour, or top of the show, and he hasn't let us down yet, Erik Morales in white.
And something right now that I saw of David Diaz, you cannot continue going straight back, forward, without throwing anything. You know, either you do a sidestep and counter him, or at least take your jab out to maintain Morales at a distance.
That's what Jim Strickland wants him to do, jab on the way out. We haven't seen it all night. Good point as we go to the corners here. Wow, this fight is just flashing.
Yes, tú ahora sí que bien, qué buen round tiraste.
Got to throw the right.
Un poquito más de presión, pero que bien combinaste. Estuvo muy bueno el round.
He's just waiting for you. You gotta go.
Hiciste como quisiste. Pero todo bien. La decisión no la van a dar, hijo, por favor.
You have to keep on throwing the left. He's just waiting for
coming straight in at him, right? You may learn him moving that jab. Fight him. He fight you. Fight him sometime and go. And you gotta let your left hand.
All right, here's David Diaz trying very hard to get something over on Erik Morales. And, you know, for all his effort, he's missing a lot. And now you see the efficiency of Morales, the straight, crisp punches. There it is. I mean, that's as good as you can execute that punch.
Boy.
And David Diaz continued walking in.
Now, one thing we should point out about Diaz, he was taking a beating from Santa Cruz for 9 rounds.
Absolutely.
And won the fight.
Way behind.
So don't overreact to what's happened so far.
Well, but one thing Diaz, another thing he's not doing is what his corner, Kevin Cunningham and Jim Strickland want. They want him jabbing. He's landed 7 jabs through 4 rounds.
You know, and we are in the 5th round. And you know what? One thing is that, you know, David Diaz is not fighting Santa Cruz. Morales can take a shot.
Excellent point.
And, you know, and he's been aware of the power that Diaz has brought to this fight.
And back it up again, he's taken some hellacious shots. Let's face it, he's lost 4 of his last 5, and he really went down in a firefight against Manny Pacquiao that 3rd time. It lasted only 3 rounds. So what have you done for me lately? He's gone down in flames, but tonight, he is coming up huge.
Well, you know what? The one thing, though, and this is another surprising thing besides the fact that he's the younger man, he's actually fought more recently than Diaz. Diaz hasn't fought since the Santa Cruz fight last August.
Good point.
Right here, you know, he's smothering his own self. He needs to give himself a little distance. Good left uppercut right there by Diaz, who's actually worked it inside pretty good. Right there, he tried to maintain. He threw that right hook knowing that he wasn't going to catch him, but he just tried to maintain him right there in front of him. So that way Morales wouldn't be able to move.
Right, Diaz content to stand in front now, and now try to muscle Morales and get him in retreat. But Morales dangerous, creating space and even backing up and landing. And look at him move around now. He hasn't abandoned the jab there. Sinks it right to the body of Diaz.
And I'm gonna tell you one thing right now, you guys. I noticed that Diaz leaves that right side of his open. I'm waiting to see if Morales is actually going to throw a lift to the body. Goes straight right to the body right there, but I don't see that lift.
Second time, good combination lands from Diaz. That right hand found a home to the chin of Morales, but Morales with a lot of
like right there
shooting.
Right there, that lift should have been right there. Good.
Wow, driving Diaz back.
But I'll tell you, man, there's one word that describes Diaz: tenacious. He's not particularly skilled, but man, he's tenacious Diaz.
That's for the Bonavena you were talking about, right?
But you know that all that tenacious is not going to be paying off because his right eye is starting to swell up pretty bad.
Well, the only thing is you have to watch for the stamina of Morales if this fight stays at this pace.
He's doing very little wrong and tons of things right. Absolutely, to me, looking like that, obviously the more polished fighter in bigger fights, which he's been in. And that seems to be the difference. He's bringing everything to this fight so far.
A good straight lift by Diaz right there. Moving around.
But another round, it looks to Morales. Five blazingly hot rounds here in Chicago. We're through that. And Morales has been a lot longer than this in big fights before.
177 World Championship rounds.
You take that out, okay? You're not that out. I'm good. You got to move in to get it close.
Wow, that's a little bit of a disparity.
That's staggering. It just punctuates the point. This
This
guy, Morales, has been
and gave him the distance that he needed.
in all times, whatever it takes.
And let's look at the replay, and I'll tell you what I think this is like. So you see, Diaz doing some pretty good work in there. Doing some pretty good work, but he's more of a clubbing puncher than a sharp puncher. Morales is a sharp puncher. But this is kind of like when Davey Moore, right after winning his world title in 1983, fought Roberto Duran. We all thought Duran was washed up.
That's a good comparison again, Wally.
When the fight actually took place. Anyway, we got a little.
David Diaz didn't like the fact that the referee told him to break and Morales hit him.
Yeah, Diaz is mad about it now.
But he needs to be patient because you know what, losing his composure is not going to help him. He's going to leave himself open.
Morales picked him off there coming in.
To go back to that Duran-Moore thing, Moore showed himself in comparison to Duran to be a rank amateur that night, even though he was, he appeared to be the man on the way up.
Remember that well. What about the spacing, how Morales is able to see back up, and still measure and then unload that way? What should Diaz be doing? Closing distance and not allowing that?
But what he needs to do is kind of throw feints a little bit and make Morales either cover up or throw a shot, and then when he sees that opportunity to get in, then step in there and do what he has to do, like right now.
So Raleigh touched on it earlier. It's a matter of who can control the distance of this fight, where this fight should be fought at. So far, it's been Morales more than Diaz, but they both had their moments here.
And I'm going to tell you guys one thing right now. David Diaz is throwing everything, including forearms and elbows, as you can see.
Yeah, and he's where he wants to be.
That's an illegal hit right there. That's an illegal hit right there. Referee warning both fighters, don't hit behind the head.
Oh, this is a mean fight. Some serious shots from both guys.
And and I like that. I like to see David Diaz make it a brawl.
Huh?
Yeah, you got to do it with a experienced fighter like Morales, who may eventually fade away. But obviously, he looks like he's in pretty good shape. He's in the 6th round right now.
Look at the eye.
Very good job right now.
Look at the swelling under Diaz's eye.
And Diaz has got to take this into the street. That's it.
He has to do it, and he has to maintain that right hand up because he's actually letting Morales land that shot on there, and that's what's causing the swelling.
I mean, I want to ask you guys if you're surprised that Morales appears to be enjoying this fight. He's not running from the slugfest.
No, he's getting hurt in there. He got hurt there, but
he got hurt. That's why he dropped that left hand. He got hurt. Or he didn't get hurt, but he felt that punch.
Oh, yeah.
But Wally, I'm just thinking all of that experience, and if you know, and if it's not a spent bullet, yes, we talked about that. We're going to address that in the corner. Wow, between rounds, it's a big issue. But all the experience showing in Erik Morales here tonight, halfway through this war of attrition.
Well, you know, Morales doesn't want to go with a defeat out now, because he says that if he loses, he will retire.
As we go first to the corner, there's the eye. Let's see how they address it. Wow, that's the first thing I'd be all over, huh?
Yeah, they could be on that right now with some ice on it. Well, here they go.
What'd you say?
Hard.
Yeah.
How you feeling, David? Good. Doing good? Keep that ice on there.
Yeah.
No sabe qué hacer, los medios quiero lo que trabajamos, por favor, lo que prometiste. Este pendejo es muy pinche novato para ti.
He's a rookie for you.
Pero con usted
You have to wait for it. Just keep on working the left. Keep on working the left and hit him with the right. Okay, just keep him away.
Ciérrale el ojo, ya tuviera más izquierda.
All right, let's take a look at some of the action. I thought this is actually David Diaz's best round of the fight. And here you see where he seems to stun Morales a bit with that right hand.
But you see, he keeps running into Morales with his hand down. So that's why that cheek, or that cheekbone is so swelled up right now.
Well, basically, in essence, the Morales corner was saying, hey, it's a man against a boy here tonight.
So he used the word rookie. You know, one of the things, Nick, that Morales told us yesterday was that when he watched the Diaz-Santa Cruz fight, he said he was thinking, these guys are lousy fighters. I wish I was fighting lightweight now. And he was actually training to fight Manny Pacquiao at that point as a featherweight.
Wow, that's something. It's just so difficult. I just think that Diaz's style so far, and I think everything coming out in Morales, he's really schooling him to a large extent. Diaz full of tenacity, as you said, and skill.
Yeah, the style of David Diaz is actually a benefit to Morales.
Oh, yes.
It perfectly fits Morales' way of fighting.
Yeah, he doesn't have to go looking for him.
Exactly. He's using his aggression against him, isn't he?
Yeah, he's using aggression against him. Right now, he got caught right now with a pretty good straight right.
Yeah, now Morales backing up, but he's dangerous doing that too. Typically, he's punching back in a hurry when he gets hurt, and he didn't do that in the first few seconds of the fight.
Good shot. But let me ask you something, Gennaro. They don't seem to be having a big effect.
Oh, right hand. Sorry.
Well, you know, like I said,
Morales right hand.
Morales has always been in good shape. He always taken some good shots and always came back. Like right now, he stuck David Diaz a couple of times with some good right hands.
Well, he had a question.
My question to you is this. The weight difference notwithstanding, do you think David Diaz hits as hard as Manny Pacquiao?
You know what? I don't think he hits as hard as Manny Pacquiao. Or as fast as Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is very quick. He's very strong. He can take a good shot, and he can also hit with power.
Look at Morales go, the combinations as he's letting his hands fly, just very smooth and hitting the bar. Now Diaz comes after him with sweeping hooks that fail to click. Morales moving left, away from that power left hand, but now he walked into a left hand. Diaz trying to muscle and rough up inside. Morales gives a little bit back, gets clipped by a right hand from Diaz. Diaz, high guard, looking to make it a brawl against the ropes here and succeeding, trying to pierce through with those uppercuts and blasting away as Morales' back is forced.
You see, that's where Morales has to be, right there with his head dug down if he's going to fight inside. He cannot continue sticking his head out, because you know what? That's where he's getting caught.
Yeah, Morales,
right there.
Morales looks a little tired right now.
Absolutely does. This is a war of attrition, and right now, Morales looks like he's getting worn down a little bit.
Oh, just fabulous action. You said it, war of attrition, war of aggression.
Come on, son. You gotta work the left. Keep the jab, keep him in front of you, okay? Keep him in front. And then let the right go.
No agarres cuerdas.
Gotta hit him with the right. Keep him away.
La pelea ya la tienes con la bolsa.
Nice big face.
Now, when you're in close, try to push him back. See, don't just punch him back. Push him back and keep him going back.
All right, now you'll start to see here that there's some good sharp punches from Morales, but later in the round, Diaz really, the strength of Diaz starts to take over here a little bit. You know, you can almost see it after they broke from the clinch. Morales kind of deliberately went to the ropes almost for a rest. So we'll have to see if he can bounce back here in round 8.
Oh, fabulous two-way action as we head to the 8th of a scheduled 12-rounder. And we talked about Diaz needing to make Morales fight 3 minutes every round. They're both making the other guy fight. Each guy making the other fight 3 minutes a round. And the crowd's been loving it. It's been a hugely entertaining, powerful statement on both sides.
Both of them are getting connected with straight punches.
Diaz really trying to muscle it where he wants to be, but Morales now turns it around. Real pro move. There's Morales creating space. And now boxing Diaz. Should be getting off the ropes.
That's what Morales needs to do right there. Jab, move.
Yeah, Diaz has abandoned his jab. Now Diaz with a little crossover as he switches to conventional. He's got Morales in front of him trying to slice through to the body and to the chin with uppercuts.
And Morales knows what Diaz is doing. He's swinging those hooks to the body wide. So that's why he's getting countered so easy.
But boy, he looks profoundly tired right now, and I'm talking about Erik Morales. I mean, I'm surprised at how well he's fought here tonight, but I'm not surprised that he's starting to show signs of fatigue.
Well, championship rounds still aren't upon us here. You're right, Wally. Could be a huge factor. You touched on it before the fight.
Morales looked like he lost his balance, and Diaz didn't want him to turn around, so he continued going left to the face.
The champion pounding away on Erik Morales. The three-time former champion trying to make history as the first Mexican to capture 4 world titles in 4 different divisions as he comes storming back.
Now that's the gallantry of Morales that I think, really endears him to fight fans. It's that kind of stuff. You know he's exhausted right now, and he's firing everything he's got.
Absolutely. Minute to go in the 8th.
And he's not trying to show David Diaz any respect. He's like, you know what, I may be tired, but I'm going to continue throwing punches because this is a fight, and I'm a world champion as well as you are.
Diaz hammering away with those uppercuts in close. Trying everything. And as you touched on earlier, Gennaro, muscling. Trying to outstrength Morales once they get inside, leaning on him there. Trying to push him back. And now working the body.
Yeah, look at Morales' face. He looks like he's exhausted.
He looks so tired. Right now, for the past couple of rounds, brute strength has been beating skill, and you have to wonder if skill is going to pull it together and turn this around in the last couple of rounds.
Diaz coming on big, and he's got Morales trapped on the ropes.
And you can see Morales is holding off if he wants a break.
Yeah. But one thing, and I haven't mentioned it yet, but several times now, Diaz has dug his shoulder in underneath the chin of Morales. He hasn't been warned for it yet.
Well,
and now the dad of Morales is over here telling the referee that, you know what,
Yeah.
you know what?
He's right.
8 points. Excruciatingly exhausting rounds for both men in the bank here. How do you have it this way, Wally?
You know what? I've got Morales ahead by 2 points, but it's a rapidly diminishing 2 points.
Yeah, the knockdown sure helped early.
Oh, yes. Although on my card,
The knockdown's the difference in the fight, Wally. On your card.
No, that was in the first round.
Well, but still,
I gave
because it was I made it 10-9. Right. Well, Diaz was headed to win that round.
Yes, he was. Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's a 2-point turnaround.
All right, now you see some of Morales' work, and this gallant is the word. I mean, this is a guy who's exhausted. And David Diaz, even though he's a slightly older man, is certainly stronger and more energetic now. And Morales giving everything he can to keep him off.
He was face first, though, there. I think Morales clearly had a point there complaining about Diaz, the champion, using his head.
Yeah, the dad didn't have very nice words to say to the referee, scream him out. But punches in 8th round, you're looking at 16 connected thrown by Diaz. Morales throwing 55, landing 16. So the average would be 14-8 in favor of Diaz right now.
Morales caught Diaz coming in again.
And you know what? That right eye, that area under the right eye of Diaz, that's just a target for Morales' jab.
What about Diaz with more body work? I haven't seen as much of it as we saw early.
Yeah, he should be doing more of that. But right now, I think what he's doing is just trying to outmuscle, trying to drain whatever conditioning Morales may have left in the tank. Right now, they just told Diaz to be careful with the elbows, giving him a warning. I've been seeing that for the beginning, almost at the beginning of the fight, that he's been throwing those elbows and forearms. So you know what? It's a fight. The referee don't say it, you use it.
Boy, Morales just draws Diaz in, gets dangerously close to being cornered, and then just works out beautifully and launches his attack. He's just a wonderful guy. Look at that, how he just ran Diaz into the shot.
Good combination right there that Morales did. Connected some good shots. Right there he made Diaz miss and almost had him pay for it.
Exactly.
You know, when Morales has his energy and he can put it together, this is a school job.
Just really absolutely. Diaz, they both connect. Both guys firing. Fabulous two-way action here in the 9th of a scheduled 12-rounders. Will it go 12-rounder? Will it go that far?
Will there be history made?
Will there be history denied? Diaz, this fight worth more to his stature than really winning the championship, I would say, without question.
Good straight left, double left by Diaz.
By Diaz, yes.
Actually forcing, pushing, hitting, and it's a good thing that he's doing that. You know, he needs to continue throwing to the body. It doesn't matter, you know, the referee's on your right side, on Diaz's right side. You know, you got the left hand, continue hitting him, whether it's in the back or not.
Yeah, the body work starting to drive home a point for Diaz and perhaps steal this round that I thought he was losing early, fellas.
I agree with you. I thought Morales, you know, was easily going to win the round, and now I'm not so sure.
That's one thing right there. That's what he needs to do. That's what Morales needs to do right there.
Yep.
Right there. That was it. Right there. Step back and counter with that right. Good left.
Oh, look at Morales with the left catching Diaz coming in before the bell.
And look at the way he walks back.
Another tough one to score, but not for want of action on both sides. Man, they're going for it.
Okay. You know what's working. You know what's working. Come on, keep him away with the left. Okay? Keep him away with the left and hit him with the right. You know what's working, okay? Hit your body.
Look at that eye, David Diaz. CompuBox numbers in round 9. Diaz landing 9 of 43 unofficially. Morales out punching him, landing 15 of 49. A critical 9th round, Wally.
Yeah, I gave it to Morales after much deliberation, and right now on my card, which means nothing.
Means a lot.
That means it means less than the paper it's worth on. You know,
you got a great seat, Wally.
Yes, I do. But it won't make any difference in the final score. Right now, David Diaz got to win all 3 of these rounds on my card to get a draw. So he's got to take it to the alley, take it to the street, take it to the schoolyard, but he can't box with this guy.
Well, we should note that this fight in David Diaz's hometown, the judges from Mexico, the United States, and Japan.
And the other interesting thing is I don't sense, you know, anymore an overwhelming crowd partisanship for either fighter. I think right now they're enjoying, you know,
vast appreciation. I agree, Wally.
You know, it's not like they're screaming for everything Diaz does.
Yes.
They're appreciating both guys.
Oh, Diaz with a huge flurry there. And Morales with a veteran move will wrap him up.
I just, you know, with the veteran that he is, I just don't understand why he's wrestling him. I mean, you got him already, you turned him around already. Just move, get away, don't. I'm not trying to out-muscle the guy.
Maybe, yeah, do you think his legs are starting to betray him?
I think his conditioning is starting to wear down on him, but, you know, he's landing some pretty good shots.
Yeah.
The warrior that he is.
Now, this is Morales' wheelhouse.
And we know that, look at, you know he's setting up that right hand.
Yeah, and Diaz says, keep him up, Eric.
And there was a straight leg by Diaz.
But Morales able to box at a distance well just moments before. So another close round. Halfway through the 10.
There goes the crowd.
So much for that theory, huh?
Yeah, Chavez needs a shot. Or I should say Diaz needs a little bit of a resurgence here. He hasn't been quite as busy as he was in the earlier rounds. It's understandable. They're throwing a slew of punches on both sides.
Well, there's an ebb and flow to it, you know, guys. There are times when you think one guy's taking over.
Yeah, that's what makes a great fight.
Right now, Morales was just landing the pretty good shots, and all of a sudden, Diaz turned it around and started landing.
Oh, and Diaz clips him on the way out with that jab. That's what they want him to do, a little bit of a hook on the way out. Very close 10th round. As Wally said, they both had their moments once again.
And they're both breathing pretty hard. Huh?
I mean, well,
understandably, yeah.
I honestly believe that Diaz is actually breathing hard only because he was carrying the weight of Morales on top of him by trying to outmuscle him.
Think so. Morales sinks a right to the body. Diaz hammers away at Morales' body. Morales on the ropes. As we complete 10 here in Chicago.
Push him back. Listen. You gotta push him back because if he's back on his heels, he can't hit you, and you can get off at him. So every time you have a close, and every time your head's close to him, push him back. Keep your running back, okay?
Precioso, cuando te perfilaste y tiraste unos derechazos preciosos. Sigue combinando como lo hiciste en este round.
Keep on doing what you did last round. You gotta throw the right. You gotta keep on throwing with the right.
No te vayas en
You gotta throw the hook. Keep them away too, okay?
La pelea la vamos ganando.
Keep on punching.
Copy your box numbers through 10. Diaz has outpunched Morales, but Morales has outlanded Diaz by 20, 146 to 126. Briefly, fellas, what do you tell David Diaz? He's not a KO artist, and he can't really feel he's winning this fight with 2 to go. What do you tell him to change?
You know, I mean, you know, he has to continue going forward.
He is what he is.
He has to look for it. You know, it brought him to the victory when he knocked out Santa Cruz. He can do that again right now, like he just did right now.
That's where he wants to be, right here.
Well, you know, one thing I would say is that I wouldn't be so sure that the fight isn't closer on the official cards. Because, you know, it's a really hard fight to score.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a grueling fight.
But I don't, David Diaz can't possibly believe he has a safe lead, is what I'm saying.
Oh, that's absolutely right. If I'm his corner, I say you get as close to this guy as possible. Do not let him get an arm's length with you where he can get some clean punches off.
That's where Morales has been most effective. All of his experience coming into play tonight. Morales on the left. Hardly the shop-worn fighter some said he was going into this night in Chicago. But David Diaz is dangerous every round.
You know, it'll be interesting to talk to Morales after the fight if, in fact, he does lose. Because he told Gennaro and I yesterday that he would retire if he lost. And I wonder, having fought this well tonight,
losing this way? Oh, yes. Not only a disgrace, I want to see him again.
He just had a straight right that I thought Diaz was going to go down on him. Diaz took a real good punch there.
Diaz coming forward, his hands are down.
And that doesn't help any of the scorecards when you see fighters get hit like that.
Oh, Morales lands a left hook to the body. Diaz trying to pin him, but Morales... Oh, on the way out, Morales clipped Diaz as he leans forward. So Morales doing all the, he's got every trick of the trade.
Oh, yeah.
Catching Diaz when he's leaning, lunging, the whole bit.
And he sees when Diaz is going to let his hands go. So he actually opens up wide to throw those body shots. So what do? You take the shot and you counter right away, and that's what Morales has actually been doing pretty good.
Critical juncture of this fight because, in my book, Morales is winning this 11th handily, and Diaz is in trouble, serious jeopardy of losing his world championship.
Yeah, you know what? Diaz, as strong as he is, he's a one-trick pony, and Morales has many tricks.
You said it well, Wally.
The experience and everything.
Here comes Diaz, coming on big. He lands 3 and 4 solid shots there. That was a huge flurry for Diaz. Now Morales electing not distance, and he gets blocked, does Morales, by 2 huge punches from Diaz in the last 5 seconds.
All right, Gennaro and I are having a silent disagreement. I said, I'm giving Diaz the round, and he shook his head.
Based on that last 30 seconds, could he have stolen it? It's very tough to call. Paper thin, I would say Morales.
Once you're inside, David, push him back. Once you quit punching, you're not punching, your hands are just pushing back. Because if he's on his heels, he can't hit you with any power. Right? Plus you'll be wearing him out.
Cierra fuerte. Abajo, pícalo para que le baje ustedes.
Don't let him near you. Don't let him near you. You gotta stay away and keep shooting that the left jab and then the right. Come up with the right. Okay? Don't let him too close.
It's come down to an epic battle. Erik Morales had the champion David Diaz on the floor in the first round. An immense show of mutual respect, and why not? The crowd, you'd be hard-pressed. They're just cheering this fight. You said it earlier, Bob.
Every single one of the 9,700 people in this arena were on their feet to cheer the beginning of the 12th round.
3 minutes, it's come down to this, and Diaz isn't about to hold anything back. Morales' corner wants him to stay away.
I honestly thought that Morales was going to be doing a 1-2, slapping around the ears and move away. He wants to stay there and finish this fight toe-to-toe, which I think might be an error for him.
I agree with you. Might be an error, but I got to say, it's a very admirable way to go.
And he's always been that type of fighter who's going to finish fighting to the end, which that's what he's doing right now.
Morales making the play here. He's boxing, and Diaz is waiting, trying to wade in and land that heavy shot that won the championship for him when he knocked out Armando Santa Cruz.
But he better be careful because he's leaving himself open for that right uppercut that Morales throws.
Morales is catching Diaz in between punches every so often off the rope.
Good point. Morales trying to find the opening. Diaz trying to create the opening with sheer force. What a battle down the stretch this is. We talked about Morales early, Ultimate Warrior. This is why. They're still playing it safe.
This is why the people love Morales.
And you know what? A lot of people are going to love Diaz after this fight.
Absolutely.
He is giving every drop of blood he has to win this fight.
Oh, and I want to see this one again.
You got to give Diaz credit. He's a world champion, fighting as a world champion who knows he's probably losing this fight, so he's going all out in front of his hometown fans here.
1 minute to go. Let's watch him finish. Body story from Diaz. Morales not elected to hang on. His legs look a little shaky now.
But he's still looking for the opportunity to catch Diaz coming in.
Wow. That was a scary moment for Morales fans, I would think.
Now he has 30 seconds. 30 seconds to try to finish it off.
Diaz coming on huge in deep stretch here. 20 seconds to go in this battle. Down to 10. Here's the furious finish in Chicago. Diaz's title on the line.
Oh, what a finish.
If you gave Diaz that round, which I did.
I don't think you, how could you not?
Yeah, who do you give the fight to? I'll give you some time, Wally.
I'll tell you what, I already did the addition. It doesn't take long. I came up 114, 114.
Oh, boy. I said I want to see it again, and I would love to.
But that, includes the 11th round that Gennaro thought should have gone to Morales. And maybe he was right.
Yeah, that was a huge, huge round for Diaz. His 88 punches in that 12th round, a fight high for him. He was never busier than he was down the stretch in a fight and a round he had to have. So David Diaz pulling out all the guns, trying to retain his WBC 135-pound title. And Erik Morales looking to make history as the first Mexican four-division champion.
Yeah, it was a tough fight. Morales actually landed up finishing the fight with a cut and actually exhausted. He looked like he was just going to fall right here in the ring when he was trying to walk back to his corner.
It was a tremendous fight, Gennaro, given that, that beyond the flash knockdown, both guys exhausted, of course, but it wasn't as if somebody was climbing off the floor, seriously damaged. But nobody holding anything back in all the best qualities. Each guy gave everything they had. We saw it all on display today. We saw the vast experience of Erik Morales doing all the right things, and we saw the unbelievable heart and will of David Diaz in play.
We saw two fighters fighting as world champions, one trying to make history, the other one trying to defend his title. So we're going to see, obviously, who is the one that came out with the victory today. It's very interesting what the crowd is thinking right now. But we're going to see what happens.
I thought that was an amazing display. That was something to see. And we're glad you're with us here in Chicago and didn't miss this one. Morales, with all those epic battles behind him, was in another one tonight against David Diaz of Chicago. He's up on the ropes now, and we're waiting in anticipation. The wait's over.
Ladies
Michael
and gentlemen,
Butler has the announcement.
after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. Hermino Cuevas scores at 114-113. Nobuaki Uratani scores at 115-112. Robert Hecko scores at 115-113. All to the winner by unanimous decision. And still, WBC lightweight champion of the world, dangerous David Diaz.
Well, have to tell you, I'm very surprised. Not as surprised as the people in the house here. Maybe a vast, huge, explosive sigh of relief as David Diaz, hometown kid, becomes absolute hometown hero, beating a legend unanimously in Erik Morales. Wally is with the loser now.